So much. Y quiero expresar también mi respeto hacia Japón, hacia todo el equipo japonés que está aquí, hacia el equipo de Naoya y hacia todas las personas que han venido aquí a apoyar. Pero esta noche, este sábado, no va a ser la noche samurái, va a ser la noche azteca y vamos a ganar.
Confiado, la verdad es que creo que Inoue, como cualquier ser humano, comete errores. Él es humano, muchos dicen que es un monstruo, para mí lo sigo viendo como una persona común como yo, y él también comete errores, eso me hace sentirme muy seguro y sé que voy a ganar.
Most fighters enter the ring against Naoya Inoue already defeated. They look at the monster, they see the knockouts, they hear the bones breaking, and they freeze before the first bell even rings. But every once in a while, someone comes along who refuses to read the script. David Picasso hasn't just signed a contract to fight the pound-for-pound king. He has issued a chilling, calculated warning that has the entire boxing world pausing to ask a very dangerous question. Is the monster finally vulnerable?
Alan Picasso says the belts are going back to Mexico. What happens when the monster meets Picasso in Riyadh?
アラン・ピカソさんはこのベルトはメキシコに戻ると言っています。モンスターがこのアラン・ピカソと戦うということはどのようなことでしょうか。
そうですね、まずこのベルトがメキシコに帰るということは 100% ありません。ピカソと戦うということはこのスーパーバンタム級で戦っていく上で一つ必要な防衛戦であると認識しているので土曜日に戦います。
Picasso isn't engaging in the usual trash talk we see to sell tickets. There's no table flipping, no screaming matches, and no fake drama. Instead, he sat down for a recent interview and delivered a dissection of Inoue that was almost surgical in its calmness. He didn't speak with hope. He spoke with the certainty of a man who has found a fatal flaw in a perfect machine. He claims to have exposed the humanity behind the myth, and he believes he possesses a secret weapon, a 100-year strategy that is going to shock the world on December 27th. The first step in Picasso's plan isn't physical, it's psychological. To beat a legend, you first have to stop treating him like one. In his conversation with Ring magazine, Picasso refused to even utter the nickname monster. To him, that word is a mental trap that opponents fall into, giving Inoue an advantage before a punch is thrown. Picasso stripped away the accolades, the belts, and the terrifying reputation, reducing the Japanese champion to a common human being. He is human. He also makes mistakes, Picasso stated. It sounds simple, but in the context of Inoue's reign of terror, it's a radical stance. Most opponents spend their training camps worrying about how to survive. Picasso has spent his camp studying the errors that everyone else ignores because they are too busy being afraid. He noted that he feels completely calm, happy, and ready. This isn't the nervous energy of a challenger hoping for a lucky punch. It's the composure of a mathematician who has solved a complex equation. He believes that treating Inoue as invincible is exactly why others lose, and by viewing him as just another man with 2 arms and 2 legs, Picasso has already won the mental battle that destroys so many others.
As a fight, when you see him making them mistakes, do you take confidence from that?
¿Te sientes tú un poquito más con más confianza cuando has visto que Noah ha cometido errores en las peleas anteriores contra adversarios? ¿Cómo te sientes? ¿Cómo te hace sentir eso?
Pues confiado, la verdad es que creo que Inoue, como cualquier ser humano, comete errores. Él es humano, muchos dicen que es un monstruo, para mí lo sigo viendo como una persona común como yo, y él también comete errores, eso me hace sentirme muy seguro y sé que voy a ganar.
When you've seen him fight so much this year, fighting 4 times in a year, do you think that you're catching him at the right time?
Cuando has visto que él ha peleado tanto, 4 veces al año, ¿crees que es el momento ahora mismo, es el momento adecuado para pelear contra él?
Cualquier momento hubiera sido adecuado, llevo mucho tiempo esperando esta pelea, así que para mí no importa todo eso, importa verlo en el ring y pelear contra él y ganar.
But confidence alone gets you knocked out. What makes this warning different is the bizarre, almost mystical logic Picasso is using to justify his belief. When asked what separates him from the long list of victims on Inoue's resume, Picasso gave an answer that nobody expected. He didn't talk about his right hand or his footwork, he talked about 100 years of work. It sounds like a riddle, but for Picasso, it's a concrete reality. He explained that he isn't entering the ring alone. He views his preparation as a cumulative force. He took his own 18 years of dedication, added the 18 years of experience from his father, another 18 from his mother, and the decades from his trainer. In his mind, when he steps through those ropes, he is bringing over a century of collective boxing knowledge, discipline, and strategy focused on a single target.
What do you think makes you different from anyone Inoue's faced before?
¿Cómo crees tú que eres tú diferente a cualquier adversario que se ha enfrentado Inoue anteriormente? ¿Qué marca la diferencia entre tú y el resto?
Creo que todo el trabajo que hemos hecho son 18 años de mi vida, más 18 de mi papá, más 18 de mi madre, más 18 de mi entrenador. Es una carrera de más de 100 años de trabajo. Creo que
It's a fascinating way to frame a fight, a hive mind of experience versus a singular talent. He believes this collective effort has built a strategy so dense and well-structured that even the monster won't be able to chew through it. This 100-year theory leads directly to the tactical exposure Picasso is banking on. We have to look back at the Tokyo Dome fight against Luis Neri. For a split second in the first round, the world stopped. Inoue was on the canvas. It was a shocking moment that proved the monster could bleed. While Inoue recovered and brutally finished Neri, that knockdown revealed a crack in the armor that Picasso has been obsessively studying. The flaw is in the aggression. Analysts have pointed out that Inoue, for all his brilliance, has a habit of opening his guard wide when he loads up for his most destructive shots. He relies on his offense to be his defense. Picasso's warning is rooted in this specific mechanic. He isn't planning to run, he's planning to time those openings. The human side of Inoue is that he gets hit when he gets greedy. Picasso's team believes that if you can survive the power, the openings are there to be exploited. The blueprint isn't to outpower Inoue, but to catch him in the middle of his own violence, exactly like Neri did, but with a plan to finish the job.
Luis Neri was able to knock down Naoya Inoue in the very first round. Very first round. Now, this all happened when Naoya Inoue went in for an uppercut and left himself unguarded. Now imagine if somebody else with just as much power, if not more power than Neri, would have hit him. Because that day, whether we like to admit it or not, I am a Naoya Inoue fan. But that day, we know that if Luis Neri would have landed a harder punch, if he would have been a bit stronger, that could have been lights out for Naoya Inoue. And a monster as we know it could have been over off of that one simple mistake. So, coming up in this next fight against a young 24-year-old Alan Picasso in Las Vegas, Nevada, oh yes, it's Naoya Inoue's homecoming back to, well not homecoming, but coming back to the United States of America and giving the United States people a show, right? The young man, he is strong, maybe not as strong as Neri, but he is fast, if not just faster than Neri. So if he can implement that and figure out how to get in there when Naoya Inoue has got his right hand down while he's throwing the left hook or the left uppercut, it could be a wrap. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But this is Jake's point of view, right? This is my point of view. He cannot continue to do this. He has gotten away doing this against a lot of opponents. But that day, we saw what happened. And yes, granted, the man did come back and he won that fight in crazy fashion. He knocked down Neri a couple times and he ended up finishing him.
Stylistically, this is a nightmare matchup that could validate Picasso's confidence. He isn't a stationary target. Picasso brings something called educated volume to the ring. He throws punches in bunches, not recklessly, but with precision. History has shown that if there is anything Inoue dislikes, it's being forced to reset constantly by a fighter who won't stop throwing.
Picasso, is that a tune-up for him? Should he handle that with? Picasso, yeah, I feel like Inoue is going to do what he needs to do. Inoue is a great fighter, and no knock on Picasso. I just don't think that he's just on Inoue's level. Anything could happen. We've seen Inoue down with what we would say lesser opponents, because I don't think that people expected Inoue to go down against Cardenas, and he did. So Picasso might have a chance. As always, a puncher always has a chance. So something could happen, but at the end of the day, I think through and through, Inoue is the better fighter.
Inoue, is he getting dropped in part because of the chances? Is this something he's capable of avoiding? Like we saw against MJ, he dialed it down. He was a little more patient, and so is he getting dropped because that's Inoue? Like that's just a flaw of who he is, or is it something he's allowing to happen a little bit lately?
I can't say he's allowing it to happen.
Yeah,
I think it's a bit of both, because he even, to be honest, he was like that even when he fought Donaire.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this is not something that's just new that's happening. It's always been there. He's just been able to get away with it because of his offense and his sharpness. A lot of guys might pull back on certain punches that might get him down. So yeah, I think it's a bit of it is just about who he is. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, he dialed it down with the MJ fight, and he's learning from these mistakes.
Then there is the physical disparity. Picasso holds a significant height and reach advantage, roughly 3 inches on both fronts. This isn't insignificant. If Picasso can establish a long jab and keep the fight at a distance, Inoue's ability to close the gap becomes risky. Reports from the camp suggest a heavy focus on body attacks. We've seen fleeting moments where Inoue looks uncomfortable when forced to defend sustained pressure to the body. Picasso intends to use his range to pepper the champion's midsection, draining the gas tank and forcing those human mistakes to appear in the later rounds. It's a game of inches, and Picasso believes he has the ruler to measure them perfectly.
He's a really good fighter. He's crafty. He trains with Joel Diaz and Indio, and it would not surprise me at all, but Inoue is the best. You have to always pick Inoue. And if Inoue wins as expected, he will defend his Ring Magazine Championship December 27th against David Picasso. I think he's a pretty good fighter, Mexican, young, exciting.
He's definitely the top from the eye test, at least. For me, he's just so explosive. His combinations, the way he moves, you see him get dropped, come back, knock the dude out. So for me, you can't really go wrong picking Inoue.
There is another factor at play here, one that has nothing to do with hooks or jabs. It's the trap game theory. In the world of high-stakes sports, the most dangerous opponent is often the one you overlook. Rumors have been swirling that Inoue's team is already looking past December 27th. There is heavy chatter about a move up to featherweight and a massive super fight with Junto Nakatani in 2026.
Are we going to see a Naoya Inoue versus Junto Nakatani fight in 2026? It seems like that's what they're trying to set up. We have Junto Nakatani as the co-main event, Naoya Inoue as the main event. So this is absolutely going to be fireworks. I'm looking forward to this fight card.
When a fighter starts planning their victory lap before the race is run, disaster usually follows. Picasso is acutely aware of this. He knows the media is already writing stories about Inoue's next weight class, treating this fight as a mere formality. This is exactly where an upset brews. If Inoue has spent even 1% of his mental energy thinking about featherweight titles or Nakatani, he has opened the door for Picasso to walk through. The warning Picasso issued is effectively telling Inoue, "You are looking at the horizon, but I am standing right in front of you."
Contra él y ganar.
How special would a win on Saturday be for you?
¿Cómo de especial sería una victoria para ti el sábado?
Un sueño para mi vida, para mi país. Quiero llevar esos 4 cinturones a mi país, 5 cinturones a mi país, ganar, tener todo y ser campeón mundial y uno de los mejores de México.
However, issuing a warning to a fighter like Naoya Inoue comes with a terrifying risk. You might just wake him up. While Picasso has been calm and philosophical, the response from Inoue's camp has been anything but gentle. Footage released on DAZN shows a version of Inoue that looks sharper, faster, and more vicious than ever. The training clips are scary. Inoue seems to have taken the human comments personally. He isn't training to win on points, he's training to make a statement. By calling out his flaws and dismissing his aura, Picasso may have inadvertently guaranteed that he faces the best version of the monster possible. There is a fine line between confidence and poking a bear, and on Saturday night we are going to find out which side of that line Picasso is standing on.
Now, if you watch the build up to his fight, you will see Naoya Inoue's dad talks about he's going to be patient in this fight, and break this guy down, but not rush into anything. And then when Inoue speaks specifically about this fight, he said he wants to show his strength during this fight. So yes, he's going to box, but him saying he wants to show his strength means he's coming to show his power. He's coming to hurt David Picasso. And I think with David Picasso being a taller fighter, I think that's going to leave his chin exposed in this fight. And I think he will eventually get caught by Naoya Inoue in this fight. But I do think it's going to take time for Naoya Inoue to find that distance and get in on David Picasso, because he is going to take the first couple of rounds. Yes, he's going to apply pressure, but it's going to be smart pressure. Sometimes in fights, he does get reckless early on, but I think since he's been dropped in recent fights, he is going to respect David Picasso's power, even though he only has a 53% knockout ratio. I think Naoya Inoue is still going to be reserved early on, look to apply pressure, look to figure him out, and then start breaking him down to the body. And I think Naoya Inoue ends this fight in the middle rounds. I think he's going to end it in round 6 or 7. I think it's going to be a knockout. I think he's going to just break the body down. And in between combinations that David Picasso is throwing, I think Naoya Inoue is going to catch him right on the button, right on that chin. So I think if there's a knockdown prop for this fight, I like the over 0.5 knockdowns. I haven't seen that yet on my book, but I'm sure the odds for that may be ridiculous. So I would say look at the odds of that first, but Naoya Inoue for sure on the money line. You will want to add that to a parlay because those money line odds are insane. And then we also have Naoya Inoue by KO. And then if we're looking for specific rounds, I'm going to be looking anywhere from the rounds of 6 to 8. But I think he gets him out of there in round 6 or 7. So
we are left with a fascinating clash of philosophies. On one side, we have the 100 years of collective work, a cold, calculated strategy designed to exploit the human errors of a legend. On the other, we have the pound-for-pound king, potentially agitated and ready to remind the world why he is feared. Picasso has talked the talk, and his logic is sound, but logic often flies out the window when the first left hook lands. Did David Picasso just expose the blueprint to beating Naoya Inoue, or did he just sign his own execution order? We'll find out when the bell rings.
I'm watching him last night. I'm like, he's taunting the whole fight.
Yeah.
He'll make you miss and do a little move to let you know you missed. Like he'll hit you.
Yeah, he did that to Fulton too. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about that, man? Like the swag.
Showmanship. Yeah, I love it. I love. That's what makes, in a way, the star that he is. It's not just the knockouts. It's not just how fast and strong he is. He's a showman as well too. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the people love to see. And I think that. That's one of the things that gives people comfort when they see him fight, that root for him, because it's like, oh, he's just playing with these guys, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Inoue's a great fighter, dude.
That's why when he did what he did to Fulton, it was eye-opening. It was like, okay, we know you could do that against Latin fighters, but I ain't doing this to like an athletic Black American fighter.
Yeah.
How do you think that would match up? Because usually the Black American fighter is a more athletic fighter. How do you think that would go with you and Inoue in that department, athleticism?
I think that we would go head to head with that for sure. And I definitely believe. It's funny because if I say this now, he might just want to do it in the fight if he was to ever fight. But I think he'll be dialed in the fight the whole time. He wouldn't have room to showboat and all of that, because if I make everyone pay for all of their mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Make them miss.
You do some of that stuff too when you start feeling good in the ring.
Yeah, that's me though. That's me.
Right.
I can do
so you guys might be. So it might be that he's not doing it. It's that he has someone across from him who's doing it to him as well.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, that part. Yeah, I'll definitely I'll do that. You know what I'm saying? But then again, I can't. That just could be his groove. That just could be the thing that gets him into a rhythm, because that's what gets me into a rhythm. So if he does do that, I won't take that as, oh, he think I'm a cakewalk, or he's playing with me. The audience may, but I'm not gonna care, because I do the same thing. I might showboat a little bit, but that's me getting into a rhythm. That's not me trying to take it easy on the guy or trying to make it seem like this guy easy work.
No, it's spontaneous, right? Like you're in the groove.
Yeah, you're feeling good. Yeah.
Right.
It's a dance, bro. You want to have a little dance, man.
Right.
That's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.